The US is now at war with Iran. On day one, the US and Israel launched coordinated airstrikes against Iran's leadership, killing the supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei and several other top generals. Iran immediately fired back and launched retaliatory airstrikes on neighboring countries such as Israel, the UAE, and other US military bases within the region. They're pretty much going to war with everyone at this point, and they're literally bombing any potential ally they might have had. Iran then appointed a new commander, and he was immediately killed just a few hours later. That's a tough first day on the job. So why is all of this happening? Well, this obviously didn't happen overnight. There has been ongoing tension between the US and Iran ever since the US bombed Iran's nuclear facility. In the past few months, protesters took to the street in Iran, and the Iranian government killed the protesters by the thousands. Some estimate that tens of thousands of protesters were killed by the Iranian government, which of course the media barely covered, which tells you everything you need to know why legacy media is dying. At the same time, Iran has spent decades funding proxy militias throughout the Middle East, backing groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, expanding its missile and nuclear programs, and openly chanting "Death to America." So yeah, maybe they had it coming. We're gonna go through some of the biggest headlines on X right now regarding the war in Iran. But yeah, it's crazy fucking times, man. Okay, first we'll start with this one. The White House posted this: President Trump on Iran. Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities. Second, we're annihilating their navy. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon. Finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to fund, arm, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders. So a couple things here. That whole plan right there seems fine, but is that the real reason we're doing this? I don't know. I thought we already destroyed their nuclear capabilities when we bombed them earlier. But destroying their other missile capabilities, W. Annihilating their navy, which we'll get to in a second, W. And ensuring that the Iranian regime can no longer fund terrorism, massive fucking W. Okay, so this one right here is just a bit more funny. This is the Iranian girl who went viral on X for doing the Trump dance in a scantily clad outfit. It's just kind of funny, but also kind of sad that the first thing these women choose to do with their freedom is something like this. It's not that big of a deal. It looks like she's been in the US for a few years now, but it's kind of like this is what these women are choosing to use their freedom for. What a world we live in, man. Thank you, feminism, for this lovely moral world. This post is by US Central Command. 2 days ago, the Iranian regime had 11 ships in the Gulf of Oman. Today, they have 0. The Iranian regime has harassed and attacked international shipping in the Gulf of Oman for decades. Those days are over. Freedom of maritime navigation has underpinned American and global economic prosperity for more than 80 years. US forces will continue to defend it. So this is actually kind of nuts. Their navy in the Gulf of Oman consisted of 11 ships, and we destroyed all of their ships. There are now 0 ships. So I would say that's tax dollars well fucking spent, man. Let's go. Now this one is of Pete Hegseth. It says, "We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we will finish it." So obviously this gets community noted, and it says the US and Israel's combined forces did in fact preemptively strike Iran first while talks were in progress. Obviously we bombed them first. We bombed their nuclear facility a few months ago. We launched preemptive strikes. It's fair to say that we started it, but the reasons are still valid. They're killing thousands of protesters. They're funding terrorism. They're chanting "Death to America." I feel like we can just own up to it and say, you know, we attacked them first, but whatever. This post here is a video. It says Iranians in Athens gathering in front of the Israeli embassy to thank Israel for eliminating Khamenei. I highly doubt that. It's possible, but this does very much feel like some pro-Israel propaganda. I do know that there are plenty of Iranians that are happy that Khamenei is dead, but I highly doubt that they're lining up in the streets thanking Israel in particular for this. But it's possible. This post is by the New York Post. Trump won't rule out sending US troops into Iran if necessary. Tells the Post, "I don't care about polling." So that's fine. I don't think you should care about polling when you're looking to do what is right. I can't imagine that it would really require troops to deal with Iran. That would be a bit disappointing if it does require troops. I mean, we've already taken out their leadership. They implemented a new leader. we took that guy out too. So it would feel a bit disappointing if we actually had to put boots on the ground, but we'll see what happens. This post right here I thought was very funny. Iranian here. I want to thank American leftists for educating me these past few days and correcting my understanding of Iran and radical Islam. I almost trusted my own experience, my parents' trauma, and what my family in Iran endures daily instead of your wisdom. What would I have done without your tweets and TikToks? This post is very funny because there are plenty of American leftists who are talking about this and saying, justice for Iran. We're so sorry. We didn't vote for this. Meanwhile, the Iranians are like, well, wait a second. This Khamenei guy is absolutely evil. But you can always count on the left for telling other people what they're supposed to think. This post right here is by U.S. Senator John Fetterman, who, if you don't know who this guy is, he is a Democrat, but he's actually pretty based. Every member in the U.S. Senate agrees. We cannot allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. I'm baffled why so many are unwilling to support the only action to achieve that. Empty sloganeering versus commitment to global security. Which is it? So I think this is great. He's calling out his own party. Obviously, nobody wants Iran to have nuclear weapons. Is that actually why we're bombing them? And is that actually why we're going to war with them? I don't know. But if every member in Congress really does agree that we have to do something about Iran, then yeah, let's do it. Like, stop with the illegal war bullshit, right? Every war is illegal. What do you want us to do? Sit there and vote on it for months and months? It's like, come on. Here's a post by Matt Walsh. So far, we've heard that although we killed the whole Iranian regime, this was not a regime change war. And although we obliterated their nuclear program, we had to do this because of their nuclear program. And although Iran was not planning any attacks on the US, they also might have been, depending on who you ask. And although we are not fighting this war to free the Iranian people, they are now free, or might be, depending on who seizes power, and we have no idea who that will be. The messaging on this thing is, to put it mildly, confused. That's a fair point, and honestly, good for Matt Walsh for starting to push back against the Daily Wire narratives. But I don't know, this is a fair tweet. It is confusing. Ultimately, taking care of Iran is a massive win. Then this post here was breaking. Austin, Texas shooter identified as, I'm not gonna fucking try and pronounce that name, but name, a naturalized US citizen born in Senegal. He was wearing a sweatshirt that said property of Allah, an undershirt referring to Iran, and a Quran in his car. So to be fair, this is almost too perfect that it feels like a false flag. I'm not going to sit here and say that it is a false flag, because I do believe that Iran is going to activate sleeper cells and everybody needs to be careful. And if Iran does go out and activate a bunch of sleeper cells, then honestly, that is a good enough reason for me to go to war with Iran and take them out. I don't know, like, he's wearing a property of Allah shirt. He has a Quran in his car, of course, and he's got an undershirt that refers to Iran. It feels a bit much, but I do think we all need to be very careful right now because lots of sleeper cells are going to be activated. So let's wait to see if we hear more about this shooter. So what do you think about all of this? Do you think it's good that we're bombing Iran and going to war with Iran? And honestly, why do you truly think that we are going to war with Iran? Do you believe the reasons that they've told us? Or is there something more to it? I would love to hear what everyone else thinks about this. It's definitely a crazy time and everybody needs to be safe out there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about what's going on right now. Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know below. And if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.